Hi Presley, welcome back to round 2 of our video lessons together. So, in this video lesson today, we're going to go over our 5-finger patterns again, just as a quick little warm-up. Then we're going to look at 2 different musical terms, and we'll work in our book a little bit. So make sure you have your Piano Adventures Lesson Book 1 ready, and we'll get right into it. So let's start with our finger numbers here, and I'm going to turn the camera around so you can see my keys. Alright, so now that you can see the keys here, let's talk about our hands. Specifically our fingers, right? We have our thumb, and that is 1. So go ahead and hold both thumbs up there. And then go ahead and tap them on the piano here. Not playing the keys, but just against the piano. So 1, and then tap your next finger. These are our 2s. 2, and then go ahead and tap your 3s. 3, and then 4, and 5. Nice. So now let's take our hands. Now that we know our finger numbers, pinky being 5, thumbs being 1, and all the other fingers in between, let's start on C. And we're going to play it so that each finger gets the next note going up from C. So our thumb 1 is going to be on C. We'll go C, D, E, F, G, and then back down. So we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice. And now, once you feel comfortable doing that a few times, go ahead and play it with your left hand, except it's going to be a little bit in reverse with our left hand because we're starting with our pinky, and then we're going to work our way up. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And let's try that on the keyboard. So make sure you can see my left hand here. Go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Nice. And now let's talk about some musical terms here. So I've got, oops, excuse me. I've got legato written out right here. And let's spell this out together. This is a cursive written word here. So we have L at the beginning, and then E, G, so leg, and then A, T, O, otto. So leg, otto, legato. And do you notice anything different about the way that legato is written compared to the way this other word is written? So let's look at this other word. See how everything's very, very angled, very, very short, and the pen, when it was writing this word, it had to stop between each letter. But when we write in cursive, the pen keeps moving and it keeps flowing, right? Whereas right here, this is just very stiff and short. So this is staccato. And let's say that together, staccato. We go S-T-A, sta, and then C-C together make that C sound. We go otto. Remember, see otto at the end of both of these? A-T-O. So staccato. And that means short. So if staccato means short, legato means long. And let's try and apply this to what we're doing here. So let's play our 5-finger patterns different ways. We're going to try it once, legato, long and smooth, and then we'll try it staccato, very short. Let's try it together. We'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And notice every time I lift it up one note, the next one's already down. So, or as soon as that next note goes down, the previous one goes up. But watch what happens when we play staccato. This is going to be a little different. This is short, not long. So there's going to be a lot of space between each notes. We'll go C, D, 3, 4, 5. What happened that was different there? So those 5 notes were staccato because they were very short and had a lot of space in between each note. So let's do staccato one more time. We'll go a little bit quicker this time. We'll go C, D, E, F, G, F, E, D, C. And notice how we're lifting the note up really quickly. As soon as we play it, it goes, right? Try doing a few staccato notes of your own. Just almost like you're touching something that's too hot and you want to just take your finger off immediately. We'll go, oh, too hot, right? And that gives you that short feeling of the note. Then let's try some legato notes, not just in that 5-finger pattern, but just try and play some notes on the piano legato. Any notes you choose. And I'm just going to start on C here, and I'll just go 1 and 3 and 1 and 3 and then 1 and 3, 1 and 3. That's just an example, but you can really do whatever you want as long as that note that you're playing fills up that entire space until it goes to the next note. That'll give you a very smooth feeling and legato. So now that we know the difference between legato and staccato, let's look in our books together. So we're going to be turning to page 10 here. See the bottom? Page 10. And then the top looks like this, Little River. So at the top of this page, it actually talks about legato here. Connect the notes with no break in the sound is what it's saying here. So when you walk, one foot goes down as the other foot comes up. Similarly, when we play legato, one finger goes down as the other finger comes up. So we go. See how my fingers are lifting off as soon as the next note comes down? Nice. So then it goes on and it talks about a slur. So this is another musical term you probably haven't seen before. S-L-U-R. And a slur is a curved line that's going to go over or under the notes you're playing, and it's going to tell you that those notes will be legato. So let's look at the beginning of Little River. We first start with our 1, our thumb, on what note? This is a very special note because it falls in the middle of both staves. It's middle C. So here's middle C on my piano. I usually can find it by just looking at the label on the piano and then finding C underneath that. And then what happens after we play middle C? Do we go up or do we go down in the music? Excuse me. From here, middle C, we're going to go upwards. We're going from a line to the very next space up. So going C, and we'll count A, B, C, D. D is right after C, 1 up from C. So we'll go C to D. And then look what happens after that. We have D on the space, and then it moves up 1 step to a line. Because it moves from a space to a line, we know it's just 1 step right there. And so if we're going 1 up from D, what do we have? If we're going C here, and then D, and then A, B, C, D, E, right? So E is 1 up from D, and that's how we know what note we're playing here. So C, D, E, what do you think that next note is going to be then? If we're going from a line to a space and it's going upwards, it's definitely going up from that. That next note is just going to be the next note in the musical alphabet. So let's go A, B, C, D, E, F, right? So those first four notes are going to be C, D, E, and F. Let's try them together. Just that first measure. We'll go C, D, E, F. Let's slow it down even. C with our first finger, and then the next note is D, and it's our second finger. You see that? Very next note, just like in our 5-finger patterns. Then E, and then we go to F, and then let's look at the next measure here. We're still going upwards in that same pattern, right? One step at a time. What do you think that last note is? If we go A, B, C, D, E, F, G. So I'll go ahead and write that in here so you can see it. This note at the beginning of the next measure is G. So we go C, D, E, F, G, and then we're going downwards. Do you see how this pattern here was going up? And now we stopped and we're going back down. So we'll go from the beginning, it is C, D, E, F, G, F, E, D, and then C2 and D4 and 1, 2, 3. And now if I went a little bit too far for you, let's back it up a little bit. And let's, for now, take our fingers off the keyboard. And we're just going to clap. So we know that these here, the filled in notes in these first two measures are quarter notes. So quarter notes only get one beat or one count per beat, right? So we have one quarter note per beat, 4 beats per measure, 4 quarter notes a measure. So we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, and that's the first measure. Let's clap the whole thing together. We'll go 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now half note, and 1, 2, 3. Rest. So let's talk about what happened in those last two measures there. That half note, see right here, that half note doesn't have a filled in head for its note like the quarter note does. So that lets you know it's 2 beats. We have 2 of them in the measure. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4. And then this dotted half note gets 3 whole beats. And then we have a rest. So we lift off. So we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, and rest. So let's clap those last 2 measures together of that first line. We'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, and rest. So opening my hands shows that there's a rest happening. Now, let's go on and clap from measure 5 here. We have a very similar pattern, same rhythm, but the notes are going in the opposite direction. So let's clap from measure 5. We'll go 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. We have half notes. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3. Rest. So the rhythm that we clapped was the exact same, but the notes are a little different. Let's look at measure 5 and take a look at these notes together. So at measure 5, we start with 1 on G. We know this is G because we count up from the spaces. We go all, A, cows, C, eat, E, grass, G. So because that note is on the same space that G is on for grass, that's how we know it's G. So go ahead and write that in on your book here. Go 1 on G. And then if that's G and we're going downwards here, what do you think this next note is right here? If we're going down in our alphabet, let's go A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and then go back down. We'll go G, F, right? F was just before G. So F right here. G right here. We have G, F, we go down one more step and we are at E. And you don't have to write all of these in your book, but just write it, fill it in where it has the blank. And I'm going to put it in here just so you're aware. We have G, F, E. We go down one more and D. Then this pattern continues going down even to the next measure. What is this note here? If it's one below D, we go A, B, C, D. Oh, let's go back one. C. Nice. So let's try the first couple measures there together. Left hand, and we'll go right on G. So first finger on G. And we'll go G, F, E, D, C. Do you see that? That's the first 5 notes there. We'll go G, F, E, D, C, D, E, F, G, hold, and F, hold, and E, 2, 3, rest. All right, now we're going to take this from the very beginning, and we're going to put it all together. So one other thing I wanted to point out, though, look at where it says wrist float off. And you see it at the second line at the end there as well. What that means is once you play that final note of that line, like say we're playing E here, we'll go E, 2, 3, then a pack of balloons is going to attach to your wrist and just pull your wrist away from the piano. And then your wrist is just going to float up into the sky. Sound good? All right, so let's take it from the beginning. We'll go 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 on C. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and C, 2, D, hold, and E, hold, hold, rest. Wrist floats off. Now our left hand comes in and we go 1 on G now. So 3, 4. G, F, E, D, C, D, E, F, and G, 2, and F, hold, and E, 2, 3, and rest. Wrist floats off. Excellent. Well, great job. I really hope you learned something here today. And if you have any questions about what we went over, I'm definitely going to be able to clear it up in person for our next lesson, okay? So if you get frustrated or if something's just too tough, go ahead and rewind the video. And if you still can't get it, that's okay. Just leave it for next time and we can talk about it in person. But regardless, I hope you had a great time at your dance recital. I'm sure it went well. And yeah, I'll see you next week. Thank you.